Think back to the last time you bought something you desperately wanted. Maybe it was a new smartphone, a pair of pristine white sneakers, or a sleek piece of furniture for your room. Remember that intense rush of excitement when you first held it? You promised yourself you would take perfect care of it. You wiped down the screen, you walked carefully to avoid creases, and you felt a genuine spark of happiness just looking at it. But where is that object right now? Chances are it is sitting on a shelf, tossed in a corner, or treated as just another mundane piece of background clutter. The magic is entirely gone. You did not break it, and it did not lose its utility, but your brain simply stopped caring. Why do you get bored of everything you ever wanted? You might assume it is a personal flaw, a symptom of modern consumer culture, or a sign that you are simply ungrateful. But the real answer is far stranger, and it is hardwired into the deepest survival mechanisms of your nervous system. To understand why your excitement always expires, we have to look at how your brain perceives reality. Your brain does not actually care about things that stay the same. It is an expensive organ to run, consuming about 20% of your body's energy despite making up only 2% of your weight. To save power, it uses a cognitive shortcut known as hedonic adaptation. In plain English, your brain treats any stable, unchanging stimulus as background noise. Think about the shoes you are wearing right now. Until this exact second, you were completely unaware of the fabric touching your feet. Your skin cells felt the pressure, but your brain filtered it out because it was constant. This filtering system was mapped out beautifully by a pioneer of behavioral science named Michael Gazzaniga, who studied how our neural architecture prioritizes incoming data. He found that your mind is a change detector, not a state detector. When you get a new object, it represents a massive spike of novelty. It is a change in your environment. Your brain releases a surge of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of anticipation, to make you pay attention. But as the days pass, that new object stops being a change. It becomes a permanent part of your environment. The phone becomes just the thing you use to scroll. The car becomes just the box that carries you to work. Your brain dials down the chemical response, effectively muting the joy, so it can clear its canvas for the next new thing. This sounds like a cruel evolutionary curse, but it was once a matter of life and death. Imagine an ancient ancestor foraging in a prehistoric forest. They find a massive bush covered in ripe sweet berries. They eat, they feel a rush of satisfaction, and their brain rewards them. Now, imagine if that feeling of satisfaction never faded. If they stayed completely content, sitting under that bush for 3 days straight, what would happen? They would stop looking for water. They would fail to notice the shadow of a stalking predator. They would become evolutionary dead ends. This dynamic was studied deeply by evolutionary psychologist David Buss, who discovered that human survival depends entirely on a state of perpetual dissatisfaction. Your ancestors survived because their brains were programmed to enjoy a victory for a fleeting moment, and then immediately reset to a baseline of mild discontent. Discontent keeps you moving. Discontent keeps you scanning the horizon. Your brain does not want you to be happy. It wants you to survive. The tragedy of the modern world is that we have taken this ancient mechanism built for a world of scarce resources and dropped it into a world of endless hyperabundance. Today, you are trapped in what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. You run as fast as you can toward the next milestone, the next purchase, the next relationship status, believing that once you arrive, you will finally step off and be happy. But the moment your feet touch the new ground, the treadmill adjusts its speed. Researchers like Sonia Lubomirsky have documented this phenomenon extensively, showing that human beings adjust to luxury faster than almost any other positive stimulus. When you get a promotion, your lifestyle expands to match your new income within months. The upgrade becomes the new normal, and suddenly you're looking at the next tier up with the exact same hunger you felt before. So what is the antidote to a brain that is literally designed to get bored of happiness? It is not about buying more things, and it is not about forcing yourself into a state of toxic positivity. The secret lies in deliberately disrupting the background noise of your life. If your brain filters out anything that remains constant, you have to introduce intentional contrast. You have to step off the treadmill, if only for a moment, to remind your nervous system what lack actually feels like. When you look around your room today, try to see your possessions through the eyes of someone who has none of them. That fading smartphone is a supercomputer that would have baffled the leaders and scientists of the last century. That boring, reliable car is a mechanical chariot that spares you from walking miles through harsh weather. By introducing conscious reflection, you force your brain to reevaluate the background noise. Think back to the last time you bought something you desperately wanted. The excitement faded because your brain did its job perfectly. It kept you moving forward. But now that you understand the trick, you don't have to keep chasing the next spike. The magic didn't actually leave the things you bought. Your brain just hid it from you to keep you running. And sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is simply stop. Look at what you already have and choose to see the magic again.